जय गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदनन्दन व्रजनरञ्जन यशोदनन्दन व्रजनरञ्जन यमुनातीरावनचारी तीरावनचारी जय राधमाधव कुञ्जविहारी माधव कुञ्जविहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. जयम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवराचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद जी की जय। जयम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिवराचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य श्रील हरदास ठाकुर की जय। All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada की जय। आज हम today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, verse number 10, attaining the supreme. प्रयाण काले मनसा चलेना भक्त्या युक्तो योग बलेन चैव भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणम् अवेश्य सम्यक् सातं परं पुरुषम् उपैत्य दिव्यम् प्रयाण काले मनसा चलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योग बलेन चैव भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणम् अवेश्य सम्यक् सातं परं पुरुषम् उपैत्य दिव्यम् प्रयाण काले मनसा चलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योग बलेन चैव भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणम् अवेश्य सम्यक् सातं परं पुरुषम् उपैत्य दिव्यम् प्रयाण काले मनसा चलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योगबलेन चैव भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमवेश संयात् सातं परं पुरुषमुपैत्य दिव्यम् प्रयाणकाले मनसा चलेन भक्तयुक्तो योगबलेन चैव भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमवेश संयात् प्रयाणकाले मनसा चलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योगबलेन चैव भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमवेश्य सम्यक् सातं परं पुरुषमुपैत्य दिव्यम् प्रयाणकाले मनसा चलेन भक्तयुक्तो योगबलेन चैव भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमवेश्य सम्यक् सातं परं. Word to word meaning. Prayanakale, at the time of death. Manasa, by the mind. Achalena, without its being deviated. Bhaktya, in full devotion. Yuktaha, engaged. Yoga balena, by the power of mystic yoga. Cha, also. Eva, certainly. Bhruvo, the two eyebrows. Madhye, between. Pranam, the life air. Aveshya, establishing. Samyak, completely. Saha, he. Tam, that. Param, transcendental. Purusham, personality of Godhead. Upaiti, achieves. Divyam, in the spiritual kingdom. Purport and translation by His Divine Grace Abhay Charnarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. One who at the time of death fixes his ear between the eyebrows and by the strength of yoga with an undeviating mind engages himself in remembering the Supreme Lord in full devotion will certainly attain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Purport. In this verse, it is clearly stated that at the time of death, the mind must be fixed in devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For those practiced in yoga, it is recommended that they raise the life force between the eyebrows to the Anjana chakra. The practice of such chakra yoga involving meditation on the 6 chakras is suggested here. A pure devotee does not practice such yoga, but because he is always engaged in Krishna consciousness, at death he can remember the Supreme Personality of Godhead by His grace. This is explained in the verse 14. The particular use of the word yoga balena is significant in this verse because without practice of yoga, whether Satchakra yoga or Bhakti yoga, one cannot come to this transcendental state of being at the time of death. One cannot suddenly remember the Supreme Lord at death. One must have practiced some yoga system, especially the system of Bhakti yoga. Since one's mind at the death is very disturbed, one should practice transcendence through yoga during one's life. Om Agnantimirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamine नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे प्रयाणकाले मनसाचलेन भक्त्या युक्तो योगबलेन चैव भ्रुवोर्मध्ये प्राणमवेश्य सम्यक् सातं परं पुरुषम् उपैति दिव्यम्. I repeat translation. One who at the time of death fixes his air between the eyebrows and by the strength of yoga with an undeviating mind engages himself in remembering the Supreme Lord in full devotion will certainly attain to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, this chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Attaining the Supreme, started with the questions of Arjuna asking the Supreme Lord, what is Adi Bhuta, Atyatma, Adi Daiva? So, Lord answering the questions, and Lord is also mentioning earlier chapters we had seen. Lord had mentioned Karma Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, this process. And now Lord is explaining about Bhakti Yoga. So in this, Lord is mentioning, like in the previous chapters, Dhyana Yoga system, Lord had already mentioned that Maya Vesha Manoyayam Nitya Yukta Upasate Shraddhaya Pariyopetas Te Mukta Te Me Yukta Tamamata. There Lord said to fix one's mind on his lotus feet and engaging their activities in the service of the Lord will surely become perfect. And here the Lord is mentioning through the different yoga process one can achieve the Supreme Lord. Here in this verse we see Lord is mentioning by Bhaktya Yukto Yoga Balena Chaiva, by the process of Bhakti and Yoga. So in Srimad Bhagavatam it says Kritaya Dhyayato Vishnu Tretayam Yajato Makai Dwapare Paricharyayam Kalo Tad Hari Kirtanat. In the age of Satya Yuga, everyone knows that there are 4 yugas: Satya Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, and Kali Yuga. So, in the age of Satya Yuga, for all these yugas, there are different prescriptions or regulations given to attain the Lord. In Satya Yuga, the process to attain the Supreme Lord is meditation. And in Treta Yuga is by performing sacrifices, big Vedic sacrifices. And in Dwapar Yuga, by serving the lotus feet of the Lord by constructing big temples. And in this Kali Yuga, there's only one thing mentioned, is Hari Kirtanat, by only chanting the holy names of the Lord, Hari. This Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, in this age of Kali, one can attain the Supreme Lord by taking shelter or taking the names of Lord Hari. Why it is so? Why can't yoga or why can't sacrifices? Why can't constructing temple for the Lord? But why it is only mentioned by Kirtan, Sankirtan Yagna only? So, in this we have to understand that the age limit or the time factor of Satya Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga and Kali Yuga, the lifespan. In Satya Yuga, one used to live for thousands of years, nearly like 1 lakh years. Their lifespan is 1 lakh years. So that's why we see many rishis who gone to forest for meditating, sat for perfection of their life for thousands of years. Kardamuni sat in meditation on the Lord for 60,000 years. Vishwamitra Muni, Saubari Muni. If you see, their lifespan is much more than compared to Kali Yuga. Then when it comes to Treta Yuga, their lifespan is reduced to 10,000 years, where they used to perform big sacrifices, where it contains pure ghee, the Brahmanas who chant the Vedic mantras perfectly. And in that, by sacrificing everything, by performing this yagnic sacrifices, they please the Supreme Lord. And they attain the supreme destination. And in Dwapar Yuga, by constructing big temples and worshipping the Lord with elaborate procedures, they achieve perfection or they attain the Supreme Lord. But in Kali Yuga, neither we can go for yoga for years together, nor we perform big sacrifices which involves lots of money, and qualified Brahmanas who chant the Vedic mantras with expertise, with the goal only to please the Supreme Lord, nor by constructing big temples. Now also we see in South India, we have many big temples made of rock. Now we can't find any temple, such a temple coming up. It's coming up with a marble only. And coming up a temple is also time-taking process and money involved. So in this Kali Yuga, and also the symptoms of Kali Yuga is Kale dosha nide rajan, asti eko mahagunan. This Kali Yuga, this age is called as Iron Age. We call different ages. In history also we might have studied different kingdoms. They have different eras. So this Kali Yuga is called Iron Age, where hypocrisy and quarrel is much more. For each and everything there is a big quarrel, or there is some hypocrisy involved. So in this age, then what is the solution? The solution is by only chanting the holy names of Lord Hare. Because here in this verse, it is saying Bhakta Yukto Yoga Balena Cheva, yoga. So one can say, because nowadays in modern society, we see many yoga centers coming up. But one should understand what is the real meaning of yoga. The real meaning of yoga is plus. Yoga means plus, connection. To whom? To whom? To the Lord. Yes, to the Lord. How? Earlier ages in Satya Yuga, it is by meditation process. But now, do you find any peace of mind? One's mind is so turbulent, it can't stop. Just for 2 minutes we'll sit silent and please check yourself. Is anyone's mind is peace and calm without any thought process or without any desires. Anyone there whose mind didn't stop it for just 2 minutes without thinking anything? I came here, Darshan is not yet started, and some class is going on. What is this? I have to rush out to my home for dinner, or my friend is waiting. We have a pizza party. Something or other, mind is thinking of something else, something or other. So once Srila Prabhupada was mentioning in Vrindavan Dham that, see, we can call for yoga. We can arrange in our Gurukul soft kusha grass with soft cloth. We don't get deer skin, soft cloth, and call for people. Anyone can come here and meditate. Then later it was found that no one came. So because it's literally not possible. This is like this yoga, what I'm saying of Satya Yuga's yoga practice. Focusing on the Supreme Lord, sitting in everyone's heart, without any thought process, controlling the senses, mind. That is the process. Not unlike today's yoga system where people doing different bodily exercises. And we see sometimes people keep their feet around the neck and practicing yoga. They will be getting bills, medical bills, by breaking their legs. But we can't achieve any peace. Nor we come closer to the Lord, Krishna. Then what is that yoga system then? How can we connect? And this Ashtanga Yoga in the previous chapters, Lord had already explained. You have to go to a place where there are no one, secluded place, sitting on a raised throne, soft kusha grass, sitting straight with one's back straight and just focusing at the tip of the nose and meditate without any thought process, nor or also controlling their senses, all the senses, and bringing all the Shat Chakras. In the purport also mentioning, this can be done by Shat Chakras, bringing all the chakras straight, and the 10 Vayus, there are 10 airs in the body that maintains equilibrium, the body. So bringing all that airs in the center and just to the eyebrows. Bruvor madhye pranam aveshya samyak. Bringing the life air in between the two eyebrows. Just moving that above this last Shat Chakra. And you might all heard there is a Brahmarandra here. So passing the life air, bringing the air, life air, prana vayu, from all these Shat Chakras, 6 chakras, and finally to the Kapola, to this Brahmarandra, where there is 1,000 petal, that is pituitary gland in the liquid, pituitary liquid. So bringing to that point, and from there the life air has to be released. That is perfection. From there the life air comes, and that is also not sure that you will be attaining the Supreme Lord. You will be going to Goloka or Vaikuntha planets. From there, if someone who or less intelligent who wants some mystic yoga powers, so they can go to Siddhaloka, or they want some enjoyment, they can go to heavenly planets, different heavenly planets, or one who wants to achieve the Supreme Lord can go to Vaikuntha Loka or Golaka Vrindavan, higher than this Vaikuntha Loka. So, in this Kali Yuga, it is merely impossible. Yes or no? You are smiling. Yes or no? Mic hai? So, why? Just a minute. Huh? Ah, yes, that is true. Yes, life has to be passed through all these Shet chakras and this Brahmarandra and coming out, and that is true. Yes. Is it possible in this Kali Yuga? But this is possible in this age. Just answer why?
Sir, I have just come.
Huh?
I have just come right now.
No, no. Why it is difficult? We can't do this yoga process. You said no, right? Why it is not possible?
Sir, it is a spiritual thing, sir. Yoga makes spiritual. In Kali Yuga, the spirituality is very less.
Ha. Everyone wants to be comfort. Everyone wants, I am happy, whatever life God has given me, this life, this job, this family, I'm happy. Everyone comparison, like cozy. Okay, everything is going good, job, good high pay salary, good family, everything going. Weekly once we'll go to temple, or monthly once we go somewhere, some tirtha yatra. We do some donation. Things are going happy. So what is the need to learn this attaining the supreme? Why one should attain the supreme? So there is one example. Once one king had announced in his kingdom that whoever lazy and compulsant can come to this kingdom. There is a house for lazies where free lodging and boarding facilities. खाना भी मुफ्त है और रहना भी मुफ्त है. कुछ करने का कुछ जरूरत नहीं है. There's no need to do anything. So king had announced in his kingdom, and slowly one after one are coming in inside the house. The house was full, and the ministers ran to the king. Oh king, oh king. The king asked, what happened? King, you said yesterday itself to announce in the kingdom who are lazy, you will get free boarding and lodging facility. So now it's houseful, and now people are coming more and more. What to do? Then the king said, okay, lit fire to the house and see. So the minister lit fire to the house, and the fire slowly started, and it took on full fledged, and the people inside the house slowly started running out, vacating the house. The two fellows lying there, and they're talking to each other. Hey, hey guy, your friend is burning. I think you should roll to the ground. And another fellow said, your back seems to be burning. First, you have to roll to the ground. So, minister heard this and went to the king and said, everyone vacated the house when it was on fire, but two fellows lying, and they were speaking to each other. Your friend is burning and your back is burning. And saying to each other, you have to roll on the ground to lit off the fire. So the king said, yes, these are real lazy people. So they can be given free lodging and boarding. So from this we can also understand they don't have that knowledge that they has to go run out things. They're so lazy. And this Kali Yuga, people, the symptoms of Kali Yuga is that only. People are lazy. They do not have what you said is true because they don't have any interest, spiritual interest. What is the need? I'm happy. If something happens, okay. Some premium, LIC premium or home loan, gold loan, what all the loans are coming up. Everything is there. So what is the need? But one should understand what happens, like the previous verses of this Bhagavad Gita chapter 8, this chapter only we discussed, that what should be one's goal of life at the time of death. They has to, it's like everyone will be passing through taking birth, growing up as an infant, young age, adulthood, adolescence, old age, and finally death. Then what happens after death? Is it nothing there? Or going to the Supreme Lord? Or if that is the case, what is this? How can it can be done, attained? But now we had seen from this verse, yoga and bhakti. One is bodily asanas, like this Shat Chakras, and which is very difficult to practice. And the age is also that requires longer duration of life, which we currently do not have. Now 100 years is also very rare, right? Kali Yuga is short lifespan. It is said 100 years, but generation after generation we see it's very rare someone crossing or touching 100 years. Then here practically if we see this yoga, Ashtanga yoga or Dhyana yoga, we can't do because life is, and also Dhyana yoga also is the bodily posture, chanting the Om, sitting straight body and at the tip of the nose focusing and chanting Om, and controlling the senses, all the senses, and achieving the Supreme Lord finally, which is practically not possible. We have already practiced 2 minutes. No one without any thought process been there. So there's only Bhakti Yoga. Then Bhakti Yoga, only the process where we can attain the Supreme Lord. And how can be achieved? Then again we had seen the lazy example. How being complacent or lazy with the things happening around in this world, we are not able to perform. But by only determination to achieve the Supreme Lord, taking the shelter of these holy names, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. By only taking shelter, which is very easy process, simple, wherever you are, just thinking, focusing yourself on the Supreme Lord, thinking the name, form, glories and pastimes of the Lord, and chanting this 16 syllable Maha Mantra, one can focus the Supreme Lord and can attain the Supreme Lord. Because this is very simple process. Wherever you are, whatever you do, you are moving on the road or working in the office, or coming back from the office, while eating, anywhere you can chant this holy name. And the Shastras says by only the Sankirtana Yagna only one can achieve the Supreme Lord in this Kali Yuga. So let us all welcome the Supreme Lord by chanting these holy names of the Lord together. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, as this shloka also today is mentioning, that one has to practice this Bhakti Yoga system by chanting the holy names of the Lord, and one can achieve the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna.